Did you know that according to a statistic from the National Institute on Aging in the United States, more than 60% of people over 65 are taking at least one medication that can directly interact with grapefruit, sometimes causing serious consequences that lead to hospitalization or even threaten life? This means that a fruit we often believe to be healthy can be both a friend and a hidden enemy in your health journey. I want to ask you right now, how old are you and where are you watching from? Do you eat grapefruit regularly? Share your answer in the comments, because I truly want to know the habits of the audience following this channel. For decades, grapefruit has been praised as a superfood helping with weight loss, boosting immunity, protecting the heart, and slowing aging. But alongside those benefits came a series of warnings from the medical world, including experts like Professor David Bailey from Western Ontario University, the first to publish scientific evidence that grapefruit can alter the way the body absorbs medication, creating risks no one expected. So what is the truth? Is grapefruit really as miraculous as we think, or is it hiding secrets that most of the public has never heard? In this video, we will uncover 7 surprising truths about grapefruit, starting with the most common myths and ending with the most shocking discovery. I promise that truth number 1 will completely change the way you look at this fruit. To keep you curious, we will follow a countdown from number 7 down to number 1. So are you ready to discover it? For decades, grapefruit has been praised as a miracle for weight loss. Across newspapers and social media, you can easily find headlines like "Eat grapefruit before meals to burn fat" or "Grapefruit melts belly fat quickly." But what does science actually say? This is where the public is often misled by unrealistic expectations. A well-known study at Scripps Clinic in California in 2006 followed more than 90 overweight people. The group that ate half a grapefruit before each main meal lost on average about 2 kilograms after 12 weeks. That number might sound impressive at first, but think carefully. 2 kilograms in 3 months is just over half a kilogram per month. This is not a miracle weight loss, but a modest effect. More importantly, the most significant change was not in weight, but in blood sugar and insulin sensitivity. I remember one of my patients, Harold, 70 years old and recently retired. He believed grapefruit would shrink his waistline quickly. After 3 months of eating grapefruit every day, he only lost 2 kilograms. He was disappointed until his doctor checked his blood sugar and noticed a clear improvement. His blood sugar was more stable, and he no longer felt fatigued after meals. Harold realized that the real value of grapefruit was not in making his weight disappear, but in helping his body regulate blood sugar and energy. This leads to an important reversal. Grapefruit is not a magic solution for weight loss. If someone tells you that eating grapefruit alone will make you slim, that is an illusion. However, if you see grapefruit as a supportive tool that helps stabilize metabolism, reduce appetite, and improve blood sugar control, then it becomes a reliable friend. So, have you ever tried eating grapefruit to lose weight? And was your result the same as what you expected? Share your story in the comments, because I believe many people will be surprised when they hear the real experiences from you. Here is a shocking fact. Grapefruit is one of the very few fruits that can change the way your body processes medication, sometimes turning a safe dose into a dangerous one. Most people have never been told this, yet it has been documented in medical science for more than 30 years. In 1991, Professor David Bailey from Western Ontario University published a study that changed how doctors looked at grapefruit forever. He discovered that compounds in grapefruit block an enzyme in the intestines called CYP3A4. This enzyme normally helps break down many types of medication. When it is blocked, the drug stays in your system much longer and at much higher levels than intended. What does this mean for you? It means a single glass of grapefruit juice could raise your medication level to 2 or even 3 times the safe amount. Over the years, researchers have identified more than 85 drugs affected by grapefruit. These include some of the most common medications for older adults, such as statins for cholesterol, blood pressure drugs, anti-anxiety medications, and even certain heart rhythm pills. The risks range from muscle breakdown to kidney failure to dangerous drops in blood pressure. And yet many people continue to eat grapefruit daily, believing it to be one of the healthiest choices. Let me tell you about Mary, a 74-year-old grandmother. She started every morning with a half grapefruit, believing it was good for her heart. At the same time, she was taking medication for her heart condition. Within weeks, she began to feel dizzy and weak. She thought it was age catching up with her. But when her doctor investigated, the truth emerged. The combination of grapefruit and her medication had been pushing her blood pressure dangerously low. The very fruit she thought was protecting her heart was actually putting it at risk. This is the uncomfortable truth. Grapefruit is healthy for many people, but not for everyone. For those on certain medications, it is more than just unhelpful, it is harmful. And the danger is that most people have no idea until symptoms appear. So before you reach for grapefruit, ask yourself this question. Do you know if it interacts with your medication, and has your doctor ever talked to you about it? If not, maybe today is the day to ask. Many people believe that oranges are the king of vitamin C, while grapefruit is often forgotten or seen as a weaker cousin. But the numbers tell a different story. 100 grams of grapefruit provides about 61% of your daily vitamin C needs. That is almost the same as oranges, sometimes even higher depending on the variety. For people over 60, this is not a small detail. It can be a line between frequent illness and steady resilience. Researchers at the Harvard School of Public Health examined the role of vitamin C in older adults and found something remarkable. Seniors who maintained adequate levels of vitamin C had a 36% lower risk of developing pneumonia compared to those with deficiencies. Pneumonia is one of the leading causes of hospitalization and death in older adults. Suddenly, vitamin C is not just about avoiding the common cold, it is about protecting life itself. Take Jorge, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Mexico. For years, he caught colds every winter, often spending weeks in bed. His daughter suggested he add half a grapefruit to his breakfast every day. Within the first year, he noticed a change. He still caught colds, but they were shorter, less severe, and he recovered faster. What seemed like a small adjustment in diet became a noticeable improvement in quality of life. The myth is that only oranges deserve the spotlight for immune health. The truth is that grapefruit carries its own power. Beyond vitamin C, it also provides flavonoids that work together with vitamin C to strengthen white blood cells and reduce inflammation. This synergy is why some studies suggest that the immune boost from grapefruit may be more sustainable than from supplements alone. So when someone tells you that grapefruit is just another fruit, remind them that for older adults, every percentage of immune strength matters. The question is not whether grapefruit can replace oranges, but whether you are giving your immune system enough tools to fight back. One of the most common fears among people with diabetes or prediabetes is that fruit will spike their blood sugar. Grapefruit is often placed in that category, dismissed as too sweet or risky. But science has revealed a different story. Instead of causing harm, grapefruit may actually help regulate blood sugar when used wisely. A 2014 study published in the journal Metabolism investigated the compound naringin, a flavonoid found in grapefruit. The researchers discovered that naringin improves insulin sensitivity and helps the body use glucose more efficiently. This means that after eating, your blood sugar is less likely to shoot up and crash down. For older adults who often struggle with fluctuating energy and fatigue, this stability can be life-changing. Let me return to Harold, the 70-year-old retiree I mentioned earlier. His original goal with grapefruit was weight loss, but the most surprising change came from his blood work. After 3 months of eating half a grapefruit daily, his fasting glucose improved and his doctor reduced the dosage of his diabetes medication. Harold said to me, "I thought grapefruit would shrink my waistline. Instead, it helped give me back my energy." The myth is that grapefruit is dangerous for blood sugar. The truth is that for many people, it can act as a natural stabilizer. Of course, this does not mean unlimited grapefruit is safe for everyone, especially for those with medication concerns. But in controlled portions, grapefruit seems to support rather than sabotage blood sugar balance. Think about the impact of this. Instead of relying solely on pills or struggling with sudden crashes, you may find that a simple piece of fruit helps keep your energy steady through the day. For seniors, this is not just about numbers on a chart. It is about having the stamina to walk, to play with grandchildren, to live daily life without the fog of fatigue. So the question for you is simple. Have you noticed certain foods that make your energy rise and crash? And what would it mean if one fruit could help you regain balance? When people think about strong bones after 60, they almost always think of milk, calcium tablets, or vitamin D supplements. Fruit rarely enters the conversation. Yet research has shown that grapefruit, a food many overlook, may play a surprising role in protecting bones against age-related decline. In 2006, scientists at Texas A&M University conducted a study on postmenopausal women, the group most vulnerable to osteoporosis. They found that women who consumed fresh red grapefruit daily experienced measurable reductions in bone resorption, the process where bone tissue is broken down faster than it is rebuilt. In other words, grapefruit slowed the invisible erosion that leads to brittle bones and fractures. The difference was not dramatic overnight, but it was consistent. And in the world of bone health, consistency is everything. Consider Linda, a 72-year-old widow who struggled with early signs of osteoporosis. Her doctor had prescribed supplements, but Linda also decided to add half a grapefruit to her lunch each day. 6 months later, her follow-up scan showed that her bone density had improved slightly instead of continuing to fall. For her, it was more than a number. She told me, "I feel like I have some control again." That sense of empowerment is just as important as the scientific measurement. The myth is that only dairy products deserve recognition for bone health. The truth is that nutrients in grapefruit, especially vitamin C and antioxidants, help build collagen, the structural protein that gives bones their strength and flexibility. Without enough collagen, bones become brittle, even if calcium is abundant. Grapefruit helps provide the raw material bones need to remain resilient. For seniors, every step, every lift, every stumble has consequences. A fracture can mean months of immobility or even permanent loss of independence. If a simple fruit can tip the balance even slightly towards stronger bones, it is worth more attention than it usually receives. So ask yourself this: when was the last time you thought about your bones? And if one piece of fruit could help protect them, would you add it to your daily routine? When most people think of brain health, they imagine crossword puzzles, books, or perhaps medication. Few imagine that a fruit like grapefruit could have anything to do with memory. Yet modern science has started to uncover a fascinating link between what we eat and how clearly we think. In 2018, the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry published a study showing that flavonoids in grapefruit improve blood flow to the brain. Better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients reaching the cells responsible for memory and focus. The result was improved short-term memory and sharper attention in older adults. It is as if the brain itself wakes up when given the right fuel. Take George, a 75-year-old grandfather who complained that he often forgot names and misplaced simple items around the house. His daughter encouraged him to include grapefruit in his diet 3 times a week. Within a few months, George noticed small but meaningful changes. He could recall names more quickly, and he felt more alert in conversations. For him, the grapefruit was not a miracle pill, but a gentle daily reminder that his mind still had capacity to grow stronger. The myth is that aging inevitably means fading memory. The truth is that the brain, much like muscle, responds to signals. Grapefruit does not replace brain training or medical care, but it adds a signal of its own, one that promotes blood flow and reduces inflammation in brain tissue. Over time, these signals accumulate, helping preserve clarity. So perhaps the real question is this: if one simple addition to your diet could help keep your mind sharper, would you consider trying it? Because memory is not just about remembering facts, it is about remembering who you are. For decades, researchers studying the secrets of long life have traveled to places called blue zones, regions where people regularly live past 90 and even 100 in good health. One of the patterns they discovered is that diets rich in flavonoid-containing fruits are strongly linked to extended lifespan. Grapefruit, often overlooked, happens to be one of those fruits. Harvard Medical School has highlighted how antioxidants and flavonoids reduce chronic inflammation, one of the root causes of aging. Inflammation slowly damages blood vessels, weakens the immune system, and accelerates decline in organs. By calming that hidden fire, grapefruit provides a protective layer that can add not just years to life, but life to years. Consider the story of Mr. Tanaka, a 90-year-old man from Okinawa, Japan. He was not a fitness enthusiast. He did not follow strict modern diets. But 3 times a week he ate citrus fruits, including grapefruit, as part of his traditional meals. His doctors noted that despite his age, his arteries were flexible and his memory intact. When asked his secret, he simply said, "I eat what is fresh, I walk every day, and I never give up my citrus." His words capture what science now confirms. Grapefruit is not a magic bullet, but part of a rhythm of life that supports longevity. The myth is that longevity is written only in genetics. The truth is that lifestyle shapes it powerfully. Grapefruit contributes through multiple pathways. It strengthens blood vessels, supports collagen for healthy skin and joints, stabilizes blood sugar, boosts immunity, and protects the brain. Each of these by itself is helpful. Together they create a web of resilience that allows people to age with vitality rather than frailty. Some critics dismiss the idea, saying no single food can make such a difference. And they are correct in one sense. Grapefruit alone will not guarantee a long life. But in the context of a balanced diet, regular movement, and strong social connections, it can become a catalyst. A signal to the body that repair is still possible, that youthfulness can be preserved in small ways, day after day. So here is the question for you. Do you see grapefruit as just another fruit, or as a companion in your journey toward more years of independence and strength? In the end, longevity is not about adding days to your life, but about adding life to your days. Grapefruit may be a small choice, but it is a choice that could echo through the decades ahead. We have traveled from myth to truth, from weight loss illusions to dangerous drug interactions, from immune power to brain health, from bones to blood sugar, and finally to the mystery of longevity itself. And what have we learned? Grapefruit is neither a miracle cure nor a harmless snack. It is a powerful tool, one that can heal or harm depending on how and when you use it. The science is clear. Compounds inside grapefruit can stabilize blood sugar, protect bones, boost immunity, sharpen memory, and support blood vessels. At the same time, they can dangerously amplify the effects of certain medications. The responsibility is to use knowledge wisely. Talk with your doctor, understand your own body, and then choose how grapefruit fits into your life. I want to hear from you now. How old are you, and how often do you eat grapefruit? Has it helped you feel healthier, or have you ever been warned against it? Share your answers in the comments, because your story could help another person watching this video. If you found these truths surprising, if you learned something new, then consider liking this video, sharing it with friends, and subscribing to this channel for more science-based insights that can change the way you age. Every week, we uncover myths and reveal research that most people never hear. Remember this: grapefruit will not decide your future on its own, but your choices, day after day, will. You have the power to shape your energy, your independence, your longevity. It is never too late to act. And sometimes it starts with something as simple as a single piece of fruit.